Hello everyone, Captain Adam here. Why don't you come thrifting with me? It'll be fun. Let's go. All right, let's start off with where I always start off when I go to these kind of places, the physical media section. Now, this is normally where they would have their VHS as well, but they haven't gotten VHS in for a very long time, so now it's just infested with DVDs. As you can see down there, they also have their tremendous vinyl selection, which is, well, just kind of rubbish. But there's an interesting little big old stack of Ripley's Believe It or Not books, and something from NASA there. Is that something from NASA? Wait, what is this? What is that? That looks like a bunch of vinyl. That is the Garth Brooks Legacy Collection, a vinyl box set of Garth Brooks, and there's two of them there. That's very interesting. Anyways, I guess that'd be cool if you're a Garth Brooks fan. Now, let's see, back to the DVDs here. Yeah, I don't typically collect DVDs, but if I find some cool ones, I will get them, like this one right here. Vampire Hunters, Sue Hark, I think that's how you pronounce it, Sue Hark. I might get that one. That looks pretty interesting. There usually is some interesting DVDs here. Like I said, I really don't collect DVDs that much, but if they are neato ones, I will. I mean, I got to get my physical media fix in somehow, and this store does not have VHS anymore, so DVDs are gonna have to do. And here's an interesting one, a 4-film horror collector set, which features The Howling 4 and Raging Shark, and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. Might get that. There's the Ghostbusters remake. Let's move on from that. DVDs are what they are. They can be cool. They're still relatively cheap at this store, so I don't know. They're not bad finds. And the very tippy top of the physical media section is their CD selection. Where are you at on CDs? Do you still collect CDs? I know that a lot of people still do. I'm known to if they're cool. This is pretty interesting. A video killed the radio store performed by the presidents of the United States of America from The Wedding Singer. This looks like some kind of promo thing, or maybe for a radio station. I'm not entirely sure. That's interesting. Not really too much good selection at this store. I do find some sometimes that are pretty neat. Oh, look, NSYNC and 98 Degrees. It's interesting. Remember 98 Degrees? So they do have some cool stuff sometimes, but not today. Oh, this is pretty interesting. This is Green Day's Insomniac. How big was this album when it first came out? Too bad Green Day really should hang it up, and they're just, well, they are who they are, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Might get that. So look at what we have here. Hanson, Middle of Nowhere. This is another big album when it first came out, but they certainly disappeared off the face of the planet, and I'm kind of okay with that, but good for them for being so popular when they were. A lot of Christmas music stuff, a lot of just stuff that you probably normally wouldn't even bother looking through. A lot of classical stuff, it looks like, which it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't need that much stuff. And more Christmas stuff. That's kind of the theme. There's a lot of classical and Christmas stuff. That's what they usually have here as far as CDs go. Now let's move on to their book section, which is right beside their physical media section, because, hey, books are physical media as well. In fact, they are the original physical media, really, if you think about it. Hey, look at that. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. I mean, those books were everywhere when those films first came out in the early 2000s. I think everybody had them. And here's your chance to get them again if you want them. They don't have the Fellowship of the Ring, though. What's this here? Dangerous Jobs. Oh, no, never. I thought that was something else. They usually have a lot of cool stuff here. I've found a lot of cool books here before, but sometimes the pickings are just pretty slim. And today it looks like it's one of those days where, there's The Last Don from the guy who wrote The Godfather. Looks like a first publication. That's pretty good. If somebody wanted that, that's definitely there for a collector. You can find some pretty cool vintage books here, sometimes, not always. If that's what you're into. What's this one? Look at Three Musketeers. I thought that was an older version of it. Super Secrets, not too interested in that. What's back here? Something caught my eye here. What is it? Oh, the Houseplant Encyclopedia. Well, that's definitely some rainy day reading right there. It's certainly a niche-specific book for the houseplant enthusiast. Leave that there for somebody else. Just a lot of, I don't know. This is pretty interesting. Not for me, but definitely this is not going to be here the next time I come. I guarantee you someone's going to scoop this up. A collection of Nancy Drew novels. They look very, very old publications. Let's see if I can find a publication date on this. I'm still kind of learning how to do that as far as books go, because usually they don't. They just have a, yeah, it's just a copyright 1941. I doubt it's very seriously. This is a 1941 publication. That's just a copyright. This is probably maybe a 60s. Looks old. Yeah, it looks like the books are pretty slim pickings today. A lot of cookbooks, a lot of just new books, which I don't like new books. I don't like the design of them. They just look weird to me. I don't know why. I like old books. Always on the lookout for old horror books or ghost story books. But they don't have them here today, so let's move on. Let's go to my second favorite part of the thrift store, the t-shirt section, which I found many a cool t-shirt. But this is where my complaining sort of starts with this particular thrift store as far as their pricing goes. It gets a little outrageous when it comes to the shirts. Now, their average is $2.99 to $4.99. Now, $4.99 really should be the most you pay for a donated used t-shirt. Keep in mind, all this stuff is donated. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about as far as the pricing go. Yeah, this will catch your eye. Hey, South Park, might want to buy that if it's reasonable. $6.99. No, that's not reasonable. I'm sorry. It should be no more than $4.99. See the $2.99. Yeah, see, there you go. The prices are just they're just so off the wall. Like some are $2.99, some are even $7.99. So it's like, I guess it all depends on who's pricing the stuff in the back, which really it shouldn't be. There should be a standard pricing. They really need to work on that, which is this is why a lot of people complain about this particular thrift store, because their prices are just so they just seem to be bonkers. And here's a prime example of that. They just seem like they're assessing value depending on what's on the shirt. Here we have a Marvel shirt, a relatively new shirt. It's not vintage at all. $9.99 for a donated t-shirt, a used t-shirt. $9.99. They have two of them, both priced at $9.99. The tag on the back of the shirt says Old Navy. So you could probably still find these in an Old Navy store. And I guarantee you, that retail price is $9.99. There might even be $7.99 because Old Navy always has sales. So a $10 t-shirt at a thrift store is absolutely preposterous. And like I said, I think the people that price this stuff, they look and see what's on the t-shirt to see like, oh, if it's, something pop culture, it's got to go for a lot of money. So they obviously saw that this was Marvel. Even though it's not a vintage shirt, it's meant to look like a vintage shirt because of the old designs of the characters, but it's still a new shirt, one that you could probably still find in Old Navy, which is where it's from. And they're going to put $10 on it because they think, oh, it's pop culture related, so it's got to be popular. That's complete bollocks. But here's something interesting. A Tom and Jerry shirt. You don't typically see Tom and Jerry stuff in the wild. I've never seen Tom and Jerry stuff. $7 for this. Come on, man. Really? Are you serious? What the Tom and Jerry market is huge now, and Tom and Jerry stuff goes for a lot of money. Come on, guys. It's a thrift store. You should have a flat price depending on what the merchandise is, not what's on it. If it's a t-shirt, it should be $3 or $5. It shouldn't be like, oh, this one's $7 because it's got Jason Voorhees on it or something like that. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't assess value. This stuff is all given to them for free to sell. So no matter what they sell it as, it's all profit. This is crap. But anyways, this store also tends to have a lot of cool band shirts. Here we have a Journey shirt, not vintage whatsoever. It's neo vintage, still pretty cool. $4.99. See, this is more reasonable. I'm totally gonna get this. Now, of course, like all thrift stores, this thrift store has a loose toy section, and I always sort of just kind of briefly look through to see what they have. This one caught my eye. It's a TIE Fighter. Look at that, $15, dude. $15 for a used toy. Come on, guys. I mean, I know it's Star Wars. Again, when I'm saying they're assessing value to stuff, oh, it's Star Wars, so it's got to go for a lot of money. Now, this should be no more than $5. This is a thrift store, okay? Here we have another Star Wars toy, Slave One, which I don't know what they call it now because Slave One apparently is offensive, whatever. I don't care. It's Slave One. It's Boba Fett's ship. Obviously, a newer toy. Has nothing, none of the wings, none of the parts, nothing. $10 for this. $10 for an incomplete, broken Slave One. I mean, what are you guys doing? For one, this shouldn't even be out for sale. This should have just went right in the dumpster because it's broken and it's incomplete. I mean, and for two, putting $10 on this is absolutely incredulous. What is going on here? But I digress, and it's really not always like that. It just seems like certain items are just way overpriced, and sometimes things seem like they're kind of underpriced. So it's like just so up and down. Here is the really fun section, the random bag section. Just bags full of random stuff. You can always find a lot of audio cassettes here. I found some pretty cool ones, but not today. That was a lot of like classical stuff there. This is interesting. A Santa's World ornament, a violin ornament. Now, Santa's World was a pretty big Christmas decoration company through like the late 70s and through the 80s. So this is pretty cool to have it still in the box, but like $6, it's not that cool. But still, here we have more cassettes. What do we got here? What's in here? Can I see it? Christmas greetings. No, a bunch of Christmas stuff. No. Let's see what else is in here. More cassettes. What do we got? Oh, Garth Brooks. More Garth Brooks stuff. A lot of Garth Brooks stuff in here today. Simon and Garfunkel. Nothing really worth anything here. Not for me, at least. Let's get back to that Santa's World ornament. It's just cool to find this still in the box. It's just, I find a lot of vintage Christmas stuff at this store. They have tons of Christmas stuff all the time. So the chances of coming across vintage Christmas stuff is very, very good, and I have before, and sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes I will get it, but not today. I'm not really a vintage Christmas collector. Definitely a vintage Halloween collector, but that stuff is very hard to find. But yeah, it's still cool to find this. I like cool stuff, even though I'm not going to buy it, but still, it's still cool to find this. All right, let's see what they have in their jewel case today. Their jewel case is where they put the stuff that they've relegated that's more valuable than the rest. Well, what do we have in here? A Spider-Man figure for $25. Okay, that's not even a vintage Spider-Man figure. That's a relatively recent Spider-Man figure. $25 loose Spider-Man figure. Okay. And right beside it, we see the T-800 endoskeleton figure from the Terminator 2 toy line from Kenner from 1991, I believe. And beside that is an original foot soldier figure from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is $15, and the endoskeleton is only $5. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of a reasonable price for that, but still, man, what are you guys doing? What is this, a comic book shop or a thrift store? Jeez, oh Pete's. And I know you might be saying, hey, if you don't like the prices, why do you keep going there? Well, because it's not always like this. It just seems like right now we're in the midst of a bubble, and I'm pretty sure it's getting ready to burst because these prices are just completely bonkers. Well, because, hey, a fever is always at its worst right when it's getting ready to break, right before it breaks, and I think this is no different. I think we're going to see a downward trend as far as thrift pricing goes. I mean, the people that donated this stuff, that's who I feel bad for. I mean, imagine donating this stuff thinking it was going towards a charitable mission, which of course that's the premise, only to find out that what you gave up for free is now selling for $25 for absolutely no reason. That Spider-Man figure is not worth that much, okay? All right, let's move on. Here we have what appears to be, well, it is a Batman head, but I think it's a little miniature playset thing that folds out. Might have been for Batman Forever or Batman and Robin, I'm not sure. But you can see the condition is absolutely terrible, and they want $10 for it. So, yeah, that's, I mean, come on, guys, look at that. Well, let's move on to something that's not as offensive. Let's go to the glasswares. You guys ever check out the glassware section? It's usually, well, sometimes it's worth it. Yeah, I found some pretty cool glasses in here before, like Star Wars glasses or stuff like that. Today, not so much. Doesn't seem to be a lot of cool stuff in here. I mean, if you needed glassware, this is a pretty good place. This stuff isn't that expensive. They haven't caught on yet. I'm surprised this stuff isn't $10. Nice little Sam Adams draft glass. Yeah, a Stella Artois draft glass. You know how many of these I see? These things are everywhere. Every time I go into a thrift store, they have one of these. That's pretty funny. Mummy's Sippy Cup, a mummy-themed wine glass for the bitter single mom. That's pretty good. Here we have the plate and dinnerware section, which I never frequent. I don't know. I'm not even really sure what I'm doing here, but yeah, I don't bother with this stuff at all. I mean, if you want used plates, this is the place to get them. I mean, God knows what they did on those plates. Probably made a bunch of meth or something. Who knows? Over here is the pet section. Yeah, your pet is really going to like used pet stuff that smells like another animal. I'm sure that's going to go over well. Here's just some rando stuff. Oh, look, a little model kit. That's pretty nice. A little model kit there. It's pretty cool. A little Mustang there. I wonder if it's all there. $6. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I'm not into model kits, but that's pretty cool. Don't find too many of those. And this section here is, well, I'm not really sure what you can call this. Maybe housewares. There's a bunch of baubles and bangles and little shelving units and baskets and stuff like that. And then weird stuff like this. Look at this. This is a handmade art here of a medieval shield. Look at that knight. Not bad. Actually, it's a functional shield. It's got the arm braces in the back. That's pretty good. Yeah, $6. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Definitely unique artwork right there. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this was just made by some kid in like summer school or summer camp or something, some class project, and he made it with all of his heart and soul, and it was just given up for donation. So that's pretty heartbreaking. Anyway, let's move on. Here is the wall hanging section, which is just filled with like portraits and pictures you'd find at like Airbnbs and stuff, and just, you know, who knows what you'll find here. That's pretty interesting. What band is that? Is that, I don't know what that is. Doesn't even say what band it is. That's pretty cool though. Look at that. That's interesting. Is that Brandon Lee? Is that like a Crow thing? Is that Brandon Lee, or am I an idiot? Well, it's probably both. I am an idiot, and that's Brandon Lee. So yeah, just typical stuff here if you're into that. There's another one of those weird band prints. I really want to know who that band is. I don't know. Anyways, hey, you want a picture of a muskox? Who doesn't? There you go. Here is their holiday and/or Christmas section, which really just should be called Christmas section. This is here all year round. They get tons of Christmas stuff in all the time because there's plenty of Christmas stuff out there. You know, usually you can find some pretty cool vintage stuff here, but not today. Look at that. What's this doing here? A little tiny charcoal grill. That's really funny. Look how tiny it is. $6. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want this, but I really have no use for it. That's interesting, a little tiny charcoal grill. I guess it's for a very little cook. But anyway, they do have some spooky stuff here, but today it's not really that good. But so let's move on. Well, it's usually worth it to check out their electronics section, but also usually not, because usually it's filled with crap. And here's a good example. Here is a stereo with no speakers. Then they want $15 for it. So yeah, that's a great investment. Here we have a stereo that does have its speakers with it, and they only want $8 for it. And I did test this. I didn't film it though. This does work. There is a power supply, no problems there. But the speakers are crap. So it does have speakers, but they don't work. And you're paying less than the stereo that doesn't have speakers, that I don't know if it works, because how am I supposed to test something that doesn't have speakers? Sure, I can see if it has a power supply to it, but I can't hear it because there's no speakers. I just wish they would be a little bit more discriminatory putting this stuff out. I realize that they're probably in a rush and they're just kind of slapping prices on it and just throwing it out there into the world. But I mean, come on, guys, you're selling incomplete and broken stuff. I mean, what's going on here? Now, this place is nice, as well as many thrift stores have this as well, where they have a testing station, like a big power strip. You can just plug it in and see if it works. But again, you know, if a stereo doesn't have speakers, I mean, how are you going to know if it actually works properly? Well, it's all part of the game. That's what makes thrifting fun. I just wish the prices would come down a little bit. And like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure they will, because there has been a lot of public outcry about like what's going on with the prices in thrift stores. It's just not fun anymore. So I think that's going to burst sooner or later. Well, anyways, that was my thrift store adventure today. Thank you very much for coming along with me. It was a fun time, and I hope you take care out there, and please hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time right here on the VHS Pirate Ship. Have fun out there, folks. Go with God, and I'll see you next time. Bye.